was taken to a secret facility in Palmdale, California. He was wheeled into a room, handed a box, and he opened the box and took out of the box a model of the airplane that is only 3 miles away from us right now. And he said, with his hands shaking, "Now I know why God has kept me alive these last 25 years. And ladies and gentlemen, it is coming in from the right now. Fewer than 24 of these airplanes were built. This is the third leg of the triad of America's heavy bomber fleet, the B-2 Spirit. Opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the burnout by Jeff Shetterly in his North American SNJ trainer. You can give him a big wave as well. The B-2 is going to come back down, and I think we're going to get 2 more flybys before it lands. But give Jeff Shetterly a big round of applause. Jack Northrop didn't have the technology in the 1940s to turn out a flying wing like we have here today with the B-2. By the way, just to let you know how influential Jack Northrop was on the development of this flying wing, his YB-49 jet-powered flying wing had a wingspan of 172 feet. That is the same wingspan as the B-2 Spirit that first flew in 1989. F-118 engines, that each of which generates 19,000 pounds of thrust. It gives it a maximum speed of over 475 miles per hour. And its bomb carrying capability is a normal strategic load of 8 B-61 or B-83 nuclear bombs, or 16 standoff nuclear missiles on rotary launchers in the bomb bay, a maximum conventional load of 80 Mark II 82 500-pound bombs, or up to 50,000 pounds of conventional weapons. That, ladies and gentlemen, is about the same bomb load as 10 World War II B-17 bombers. Up until the development of airplanes like the B-52 and the B-2 and the B-1 bomber, military planners had to say, how many airplanes would it take to destroy a target? Now, with the development of airplanes like the B-2, military planners now say, how many targets can one airplane hit? It is very, very common to see a B-2 bomber at an air show do a flyby like we see here and find out that it's going to another air show hundreds of miles away. 4 or 5 air shows in one day they'll hit. Well, guess what? They all come back here. And we're going to get a chance to see the B-2 land here. Now, I've been doing this a long time. And I've seen a lot of B-2 flybys. I've seen a B-2 on the ground at the Air Force Museum in a big hangar. This is the first time I've seen a B-2 moving on the ground, and yesterday was the first time I ever saw a B-2 land in real life. You guys live here. I don't know whether you get to see this or not, but boy, this is spectacular stuff. As I mentioned, fewer than 24 were built, I think, even with the prototypes. And this is the only American B-2 base. This is the home of the B-2 bomber. Some are deployed other places in the world, but this is home. And as you walk down the line toward the north on the show left and see those other aircraft that are on display, you can see just how cavernous and how huge this airplane is. And it's flown by a crew of 2, a very advanced suite of electronic equipment in it. The missions are planned in a planning room, and a black box is then carried out under guard to the B-2 bomber, where the crew will plug it into its spot, and that will be the mission that the B-2 flies. All worked out ahead of time. It is known as a stealth bomber. It has very high, very secret materials that are used in the skin of the B-2 bomber to do 2 things with radar. Number 1, absorb those radar signals so they don't bounce back to the radar receiver, making it lower observability. It also is shaped in such a way that any radar signals that hit it would be bounced away from it. It's on the ground. By the way, the call sign of this airplane, and has been the call sign of every B-2 that I have worked at an air show, is death. They call it Death 11. That's the call sign of the B-2 we see here. Even the sound of the engines, the exhaust of the engines, is dampened, so it's harder to hear. Low observable stealth technology. The wings are swept at 33 degrees. And the W configuration of the trailing edge is designed to deflect and trap the radar energy coming from a hostile radar transmitter. bombardier, the flight engineer, the gunners who work the tail, and the waist gunners, the bombardier, the radio operator. 10 guys to fly and protect that bomber for a 5,000-pound load. This aircraft is flown from mission start to mission completion by a crew of just 2 pilots.